So this is the first in a few of the series of little mini sequences you can do in the morning or really any time of day to show your pelvic floor and all the important organs that it houses within it some love. And not just your pelvic floor, but this is going to benefit your back, your core, that whole area around your hips. Often we think that we just need to do our Kegels to really show our pelvic floor some love and keep it working, but in reality, mobility and stretching is almost more important. So I hope you enjoy them. So you're going to come down, you don't have to have a yoga mat, but we're going to start in a wide leg child's pose. Your knees come as wide as the mat if that's comfortable. If obviously any discomfort in your knee, put some cushions in or leave this pose out entirely. You're going to keep the heels on your hips. And you're going to walk the hands forward. If your head doesn't meet the floor, don't worry. Put some blocks underneath it until it does. And so you just relax the body here in your child's pose. You might feel the stretch through your back or the back of the hips, but we're focusing our attention into the inner thighs. So as you inhale, really think about that ballooning out of tummy and ribs. And as you exhale, you might feel a gentle drawing in around your core, maybe even the pelvic floor. But we're thinking about that letting go on the inhale, that real softening of the tummy, softening of the pelvic floor, every inhalation. From here, you're going to walk over to one side. Let's walk over to the left. Take that right hand on the top. You take a lovely little side stretch. Inhale, now you can really feel the breath expanding into that right rib cage. Because the more we can open the upper body, then the more easily we'll breathe, and this will benefit the lower body and the pelvis. And then you're going to take a walk over to the other side, walk over to your right, left hand comes onto the top. And as you breathe, you can really feel that stretch, maybe that softening, that melting away of tension in between the left ribs. And the breathing is slow and easy, preferably through your nose, but if it's blocked, don't worry, breathe through your mouth. And then in your own time, coming back to center now. Some of you might keep hips on your heels as you take the thread the needle twist. Some of you might need to lift the hips up a little bit. The important thing is as you thread the arm through, that shoulder comes all the way down onto the floor. You can put cushions under the shoulder and or the head if you need to get it down there. And once it's there, just close your eyes and relax. You might slide the other arm forward, you might reach it all the way around behind you and you breathe. Inhale, soften the tummy, relax everything. Exhale completely as those full exhalations, maybe even more after you think you've finished exhaling. And then we'll come into the other side. So help yourself unthread the arm and then send the arm through the other way. Get the shoulder down onto the floor, rest the head. Close your eyes and focus on that breath, really good. The other arm might sweep all the way around behind if it did on the other side. Slowly, slowly making space. Better breath, easier breaths, more space. And then slowly, you're going to come back. So come up onto all fours, bring the knees in, hip width apart again, and we're going to circle the bum. So just little circles of the bottom, starting to move everything around the hips. Circle the other way. Should feel really nice. If anything doesn't feel good, leave it out. And then big circles with the hips. You can do figure eights as well if you want to think about it more. And then circling the other way, just getting everything moving. Really nice. And then from there, you're going to step left foot outside the left hand. So in this nice wide leg lunge position, if you want, you could put something under the hands. We're going to circle the hips again. Slowly you circle the pelvis around. We want fluids to move, everything to freshen up. Really good. Circle it the other way. And then once you've taken a few circles, you're going to inhale, lean forwards, lift your chest, take a lovely lunge, breathe into the inner thighs, the inner hips. And then leaning back, maybe lifting the toes, stretching into that hamstring. That can be quite a strong stretch, so be gentle. And then when you're ready, coming back. So we're going to step to a squat. So you step the foot outside the hand. Again, be careful of knees. I'll turn around so you can see. Push through the feet. You can also sit up on something. So if I grab my bolster, it's actually a lot more comfy if you sit down on something. So if it is an uncomfortable pose for you and you want to be able to really relax into it, I'd suggest sitting up on something. Push the knees into the elbows, elbows into the knees. Lift your chest. Nice deep breath in. Belly balloons out, pelvic floor relaxes. Exhale, everything draws back into the body. One more. Really good. And then from there, we're going to come into the other side. So from your squat, you can push into the hands, step your left foot back, your right foot is outside the hand. And we begin with those hip circles. 3 nice big circles of the hips one way. And then 3 lovely circles the other way. And then inhale, you'll lean forwards, lift the chest. Feel that lovely stretch through your inner hips. And then exhale, leaning back, lift the toes, stretch into the hamstring. All the time, keeping that ease of breath through your nose. Really good. And then when you're ready, you can take that leg back. Now, you might want to have a block. Block is probably easiest if you've got a bolster to use it, but anything kind of this size will be good, maybe with a cushion on the top to make it extra luxurious. So you're going to lie down onto your back and we're going to get the hips up into the air. So we tip the pelvis forwards. Now let's tip the pelvis back. So you push into the feet, lift the hips up and put your hips onto the block. It should be comfortable. I've had a few people say blocks aren't comfortable enough. You could keep the feet on the floor. I could swivel around and put them up the wall. If you have a sofa, legs over the sofa. You could bring the feet together and just sort of hang in like a little upside down butterfly. Or you could let the legs extend all the way up, wherever's most comfortable for you. And you can close your eyes. We allow the pelvis to tip back, so it's just moving it. We're rocking it forwards, we're rocking it back, circling it around, just encouraging all that beautiful fascia, connective tissue to start releasing tension, to mobilize. It can get all slidey and glidey. That's my technical term. So instead of sticking to one another, the layers will slide and glide easily. This beautiful glistening web-like tissue deep within the body, connecting, holding everything together in the body. And so you're welcome to stay there a little bit longer. You're welcome to repeat the whole sequence again. So to come off the block, whenever you're ready, you'll pop the feet down, squeeze into the hips, lift the hips up, move the block, bringing the hips down, just taking a pause there. And then you can roll over to one side and help yourself back up to seated. Ask me if you have any questions.